Yesterday, let me move the camera here so I could show you. So yesterday, if you remember, I was putting the wheels on this model. This is still the Minardi, 1989 Minardi Formula One car. And so this one's almost done. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start putting on the suspension pieces. So yesterday, if you remember, I was painting this wire. So this is a brass wire dipped in glue and then dipped in black acrylic paint. So it has a little bit of bend in it. This is what I found to be the most stable when you're trying to work in such small detail and putting on suspension. So that's what I was going to work on today. So I'll film one of these, putting a piece of suspension on, and then I'll move over and show you what else I'm doing over with the other cars that I'm working on. So I'm just basically going to take a guess at a piece. The angles I find that I have to go and dial in as I'm working on it. So I'll take a piece of suspension in the car, and then I'll go and eye it as far as where I'm going to place this. And so this piece is actually almost twice the size that it needs to be. So I'll go back and I'll come on that piece and I'll cut that in half by eye and put my finger over it, because it will fly if I don't hold my finger on it. So now I have half the piece, and let's see if I put this at an angle right here, that'll actually work. And like, this is like holding a hair really. So you have to have a really steady hand. So what I do is I take the upper, this will be an upper A arm, and then I take a piece of, this is like beeswax, super soft, also used in the dental industry. And I put a little bit of wax on both sides so that I can stick it in place before I glue it. Gonna make sure that it's at the very tip of my tweezers here. Actually, it's still a little tad long, so I'm gonna cut that down a little bit more. This has got to be extremely boring for you guys. I hope it's not. Just a little bit off. So now I took off the wax on that one side. So I'm gonna put more wax on it. Oh my goodness, I broke it. Wait a minute, this is supposed to be wire. It is wire. How come that had no wire in it? Maybe because it was the very tip. You can see, I don't know if you can see the brass in there. I'm looking under a microscope, so I can see the brass in the middle, so I know it's there. So let's cut this again. Eye the size. Put my finger over it. Just check. We call this dry fitting. Back in the day when we were kids, we would make little model cars, and let me see, that may be good for a suspension piece. It's a little short. Nope. Go back and cut it again. Let's try this. You could tell how long this is going to take me. And why did that break again? Why do I see There's brass in the middle of that. Why is it breaking? It shouldn't be breaking. It has wire. See, learning as I'm going. Try this again. Make sure I see wire on the inside. Yeah, wire in there. I shouldn't be able to pinch this in two pieces because there's wire. All right, that's perfect. Where's my wax again? Where did I throw my wax? It disappeared. Where's my wax? Hello, wax. Where did you go, wax? Here's my piece of wax. Did I throw it somewhere? Put this down. And I have to go look for my wax. Oh, I dropped on the floor. So I'm going to get one done here. Anyway, I got to do this times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 of these pieces for one car. But it makes such a difference in how real it looks when it's all put together. If you see on the bottom there, that's actually paper. And what I do is I paint over a picture of a schematic of this car. Move it into place. There you go. So you can see it's right in line with that bottom piece. And it's straight. And so now I could take and glue it. So what I'll do is I'll take some glue. I have some super glue. I put a little bit on a Q-tip. And then I Q-tip glue the two pieces finally in place. Excuse me. So that's one. And actually I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 12 pieces on this one car. So I'll take a break in between that. I kind of jump around to different cars. This one I'm still in the middle of painting. And because of the scale, if you can see on the front, I don't do like the actual logo names. What I'm trying to do is instead of making a scale model, I'm trying to keep it a piece of art by just representing the colors. So the company colors are represented as they were presented on the car, but I'm basically using small circles and rectangles to make those colors. So looking at it from, far away, you could tell which car it was. So working on that. So let's go over to this other bench over here. And here's the beginning stages of making one of these cars. Let me back up here. So here's a completed model of, actually I'll show you the one that I did here. This is of the Leighton House Honda. And this is a completed. So if you can see underneath it is a picture of the car, of the schematic. And so I'll go ahead and scale it down, shrink it down from whatever the print size is down to 17%, so I could make sure that the car is actually 1 physical inch long. So when I do that, it comes out, completed as 1 inch. And so the way I get to that point is I start with building up in wax. So let me zoom in on this a little bit more. So if you can see that underneath this wax buildup is the underside of my next car, this is going to be a 1991 Jordan, Michael Schumacher's first Formula One car. And so I start building up the dimension in this wax frame of the top-down view, and then I'm also measuring the side view to make sure I get the scale correct. So that's how I make it. And this is I'm making a RSR, Porsche 911 RSR race car, a 991.1, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm building up that frame over the top of the schematic. So that's that. And I can already see that this video is already way long, so I'm going to end it here, and I'll come back tomorrow and do some more.